monster truck on the TNT Monster Truck Challenge. We'll be coming into competition a little bit later, but we want to talk about another of the originals. You know, Bigfoot was the first, but this one wasn't far behind him. Jeff Dane and the King Kong camp out of Texas were one of the strongest running trucks for years. Then they went to the Awesome Kong setup, the unique, radically designed Awesome Kong with the thin body styling set on a standard monster truck frame. Now they have brought King Kong back out of mothballs, and Steve CAIN, who has driven Awesome Kong for quite some time, is back behind the wheel of the truck he started racing in, King Kong. His competition, the Nightlife Chevrolet of Dave Wyzorek, and King Kong is looking very, very good. Hold on. Steve CAIN looked like he couldn't get her stopped, but he got the victory in the King Kong truck. I'll tell you, he got a win, but it's a costly win. You can see the smoke. I mean, he just starts busting parts everywhere at the end of the run. You can see underneath the truck all kinds of stuff coming out from underneath the King Kong. Let's get a real good look at the mechanical problems here. Watch underneath the truck as Steve CAIN ends this race a lot lighter than he started it because he left a whole bunch of parts on the course. Boy, there you see it. Just exploded a shaft out of the back. Steve CAIN wins it in King Kong, but obviously it's a costly victory. Let's go to Chris Chapman, who's with Steve now.
You and King Kong were running fantastic, and then the fate of bad luck struck.
Yeah, I threw both my drive shafts out. Come up and hit the bottom of the transmission pan, but other than that, I can get the rear drive shaft back in, you know, but I can't make it fast enough, you know, get back out there and run again.
How in the world are you running so strong? I've never seen a truck run that good.
Well, I just go out there and, you know, when the accelerator hits the floor, you hear this clunk, and that's where I hear it. You know, when I hear that clunk, I know that's the fastest truck will go, you know. If I feel if the drive shafts hadn't broke, everybody out here would have been seeing the back end of King Kong tonight.
Isn't that an interesting statement with all the talk we've heard in 1990? But you have to have the new chassis. You have to have all the new parts and all the new gimmicks. Here's one of the originals, one of the old war horses. And I'll tell you, he flat had them covered without the earlier problems. And if, you know, it's a truck that's going to keep running here for a while out of the Dane camp out of Texas. We may see King Kong winning an event or two, or at least giving a lot of these newer trucks runs for their money in the coming weeks on the TNT Monster Truck Challenge. We'll talk about another truck that's been around for a while, the Carolina Crusher. Gary Porter keeps wanting to retire this truck and build his new one, but the truck's running well. He won the event a week ago, and he's looking good today. He takes out Wild Hair in the quarterfinal round of competition after beating the Wild Hair earlier. Wild Hair got back in as a fast loser. Crusher obviously the big favorite here. Identical looking race to the first time they met today, and Carolina Crusher again gets the win. But as Gary Porter mentioned earlier, he doesn't seem to be able to get the top end speed at the end of the course that some of the other trucks are getting because he doesn't have the right gear. However, he has plenty to take care of Marvin's good Wild Hair. We're going to look at it one more time as the Carolina Crusher looking good here, but it remains to be seen what's going to happen to him when he meets some of these faster trucks in later rounds. Again, because of what he talked about earlier in his interviews with us. He just doesn't have the gear to get out the back door like he needs to. Still, he's advanced into the semifinals. Next up, John PIANT's Bigfoot Ford against Scott Stevens and the Auto Value King KRUNCH. Stevens gets in through the fast loser rule and gets a shot at Bigfoot.
Scott, it looks like it's going to be you coming back as the fast loser, and you're going to be pitted right against Bigfoot. How do you feel about that matchup?
Well, I'm not going to say much. Every time I say good, it always ends up knocking us in the face. But we're running a second quicker right now than he did in that last round. He's going to have lane choice, though, from his qualifying. So, you know, Paint probably didn't run that round as hard as he knew because the truck that he was racing wasn't that good. But, you know, we ran a quick round before, so we know we can run right with him. And that's what we need to do, just not let it intimidate me like it has the last couple of weeks. You know, I can't oversteer like I have been tonight.
When we return to the TNT Monster Truck Challenge on ESPN, it's Bigfoot and King KRUNCH in the quarterfinals. Stevens and the Auto Value King Crunch, who just a moment ago told Chris Chapman he was confident of a victory over the Bigfoot Ford. Well, Chris Chapman caught up with John PIANT to see what he thought about Mr. Stevens' confidence and his statement.
John, we just spoke with Scott Stevens, who you're going to be running because he's coming back as the fast loser. He says that he's about a second faster and doesn't think he's going to have any problems with it.
Well, right off the bat, I was going to stick him in the bad lane of the 2, so that's going to give me a little bit of advantage. And I think the Ford Bigfoot's running really well tonight. I don't think Scott will be able to keep up with us.
So is that's it? You're going to beat him?
It'd be hammered down, and if he's going to have to drive around me and get past me.
Both drivers predicting victory. Only one of them can be right. We're going to find out which one can back up the lip service. Now, again, these two camps have kind of been nitpicking at each other all year in terms of the fact that Scott Stevens has been one of the most vocal critics of the Bigfoot 8 truck, and the Bigfoot camp has not been happy with Stevens. Head-to-head, this one will go to the Auto Value King Crunch. So, Scott Stevens got to be excited about that head-to-head victory, just his second ever over Bigfoot. And the Auto Value King Crunch puts it in the winner's circle as he knocks off an obviously struggling Bigfoot Ford. On the replay, a good run. Boy, Stevens really had a whole head of steam up when he hit that second set of cars and puts Bigfoot away, frankly, very easily. John PIANT looking very disgusted as a broken driveline is sidelined the Ford Bigfoot. Well, Armstrong, it's time for the semifinals.
Well, Chevrolet people of Bowling Green, Ohio got to be tickled to death right now. We're down to 4. They're all Chevys. Here we go. We got the North Carolina Crusher, Gary Porter. He'll be going against the Nightlife out of Iowa, Dave Weistork. That comes down to the top bracket. The bottom bracket is going to be represented by the Texas Truck, the Auto Value King Crunch, going against the World Champion Equalizer, and all Chevrolet Final 4.
Thanks, Army. We're looking forward to that when we return to the TNT Monster Truck Challenge in Bowling Green, Ohio. It's coming your way on ESPN.